Hello, people. Welcome back to my channel, Talks with Viggy. Hope you're all doing great. And as I said in the previous video, I'll be making a lot more videos quite often. And today I have got a special guest with me. His name is Ayush. Welcome to my channel, Ayush.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here. It's my first time, to be honest. So I hope I do well here.
Yeah, no
And
worries. So how I met Ayush is it's quite interesting actually. It happened very organically. I just saw his comment on one of cricketing videos and it made lot of sense. Among all the billions of fans in India, there's only very handful that really speak with a lot of sensibility. So I found his comment to be really sensible. I DM'd him and asked him, I make such videos. Would you be interested to talk on it? He said, yes, I mean, I've not done this before, but I'm very excited is what he said. So we just jumped right in. Before we start talking about today's thing, what does cricket mean to you, Ayush?
I think cricket means a lot to me. I have played a lot of cricket myself, and I think cricket in India, particularly to the Indians, it's a damn big thing. It is a part of our life. It is not just a sport; it's an emotion. So I've played a lot of cricket. I didn't. I'll just be. I'll tell you a very interesting story actually.
Go on.
When I was a child, I was not into cricket a lot. I didn't used to even watch cricket on TV. I had no idea what it is. I used to live in my own fancy world, all the cartoons and all when I was a kid. So a lot of relatives used to give me a bat, and they used to be MRF bats. And my neighbors who used to play a lot of gully cricket at near my home, they used to use all the bats I had. They used to use all the balls that I used to get as gifts. And one day, my mamu, that is my uncle, he called my mother and he just told my mother that there's a game going on and India is really playing well. And a lot of sixes are being hit. So my mother actually called me that Ayush, okay, come see the TV. So you won't imagine what game it was. It was the moment when Yuvraj Singh was hitting those six sixes. And I
Oh,
remember I went to the bedroom. I went to the bedroom and it was, I think the third one had been hit. So I saw fourth, fifth, and sixth, and it was so fascinating. The white ball traveling high up in the air, in the black sky, and I think that's where actually I started developing interest in the sport. So it is quite magical.
so it's been quite a long journey as well. It's all the way back in
Yeah,
2007. So you've been a cricket follower for quite a while now.
yeah. It has in 2007. So yeah, before that I had no idea about what cricket is. I had no idea how to hold a bat. And I think the very next day I just took my bat and I wanted to be a Yuvraj Singh, hit those six sixes. That
We
was
all
kind of an obsession back then.
we all wanted to be that. And yeah, with that topic, let's
Yeah.
just start today's discussion. Why I primarily made this video was to, exchange of opinions on our World Cup squad that was recently out. Before that, I'll just read out the squad before we discuss today's meeting. I'd say, it starts with Rohit Sharma, obviously the captain, followed by, just give me a moment. It starts with Rohit Sharma. Then there's Shubman Gill, who is also his partner. There's Virat Kohli at number three. The Shreyas Iyer at number four, and Ishan Kishan, KL Rahul, both keep wickets. There's Hardik Pandya in the form of all-rounder. There's Surya Kumar Yadav, an auxiliary batsman in the team's capacity. There's Ravi Jadeja. He has to be there. Then there's Akshar Patel. There are quite a few interesting names now. Akshar Patel, Shardul Thakur, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Kuldeep Yadav. What do you make of this team?
I think it is a very balanced squad, but I think maybe we could have got a couple of more all-rounders just to provide that batting depth because nowadays I see one day is a very aggressive format as well. It's not just restricted that you make those 250 to 270 runs and you can believe that you can actually defend it. So I think you have to make a squad that can score and defend 300 plus easily.
Exactly.
But I think
Um,
it's still a good squad. But
yeah,
if you want to win the World Cup with the likes of England being there, Australia being there, so I think maybe a couple of more all rounders would have done. But as the team that has been selected, if the players everyone plays their best game, so yeah, we have a good squad.
There have been quite a few eyebrows raised on particular selections and particular omissions, especially. The first one I'll start with is Yuzi Chahal. What do you think on that?
I think that's very disappointing that a player like Yuzi Chahal has not been included. I think, if I'm not wrong, he has not ever been a part of even the 2020 World Cup. I think, if
Yeah, I think
I'm
so. He's
not
not
wrong.
been a part of World Cup
I
squad.
just, I just, uh, I just was seeing one social media post saying that Yuzi Chahal has never played a World Cup 2020 game for India. So I think that's really bad because Yuzi Chahal, he's a very intelligent bowler. He's got that ability, to turn the ball both sides, and he's got a very good googly, that leg spin. And the best thing to prove his ability is that he played a lot for RCB at the Chinnaswamy Stadium, and he still has very good numbers in the IPL. So I don't know why he's not there in the squad,
And also with
because there are a lot of players.
adding to your point of Yuji Chahal, he's one of those bowlers who is not afraid of getting hit. I've told this before as well. He doesn't mind getting hit to a couple
Yeah,
of sixes and then come back taking wickets. You need that, bowlers like that in the team.
yeah, he's a very brave bowler. He does fight it up all the time.
With
So
that
he's not
also,
a bowler who,
yeah, with that we've got
uh,
we always love kulcha, but this time there's no cha, there's only kul in the squad. Uh,
yeah.
it's a sad omission, but another very I wouldn't say a surprising omission as such, but a disheartening one I'd say would be Ravi Ashwin. Indian conditions, a champion bowler like Ravi Ashwin who could also bat a bit, must have been a very tough call, right?
Yeah, obviously, I think Ashwin, the kind of experience that he has got, I think he could have been an expecter because he can bat as well. He can't just like a tail end batsman. He can score you a proper 50. He's got a couple of test centuries as well, which is no ordinary thing.
Yeah,
For a tail ender, he's even, I think, opened or batted in the top order for Rajasthan in IPL.
exactly. And
So I think,
keeping all that in mind, particularly being in India, had it been in the Sena countries, it would make a lot of sense not to take too many spin bowlers. But because this is happening in our own backyard, how our home conditions are supportive to the spin bowlers. I think that was a very disheartening one. Although, well, like I mentioned before, it was expected.
I think it was, but I still was expecting maybe one more spinner, especially Ashwin, to be there because he has got some very good experience. And you pick players like Akshay Patel who from just right from IPL. So if someone has proved himself for India on the international stage, in the domestic circuit, obviously in the IPL as well. So I think it does, kind of breaks heart to not see Ashwin in the squad.
Exactly. And also for a fact that you already have another left arm spinner who also bats left handedly, who's kind of better than Akshar Patel. So you have Ravindra Jadeja in the squad, who's an absolute must, by the way. That's again, little, eyebrow raising when you have Ravindra Jadeja, who's a gun fielder, who's also bats left-handed. Then you include Akshar Patel. You could have poured a little bit of, variations in that aspect as well.
Obviously, but I think Jadeja is just coming out of an injury, so maybe you might have kept Akshar as a backup. I see no other reason for Akshar being in the squad. If he's there, I think he's just the perfect substitute for Jadeja in case he gets another niggle because the kind of injury Jadeja had. So I only see that logic for
Yeah,
inclusion of
correct,
Akshar Patel in the squad.
correct. Me too. And
I don't see any other reason.
exactly. I mean, Akshay Patel is a great player. There's absolutely no doubt. He's performed really brilliantly for India in especially in red ball cricket in the last few seasons. But like you said, an experienced World Cup winner being left for a far less experienced younger guy, I don't know, man. It just doesn't satisfy my justification on that part.
Yeah, and we just talk about Akshar Patel, so there's no offense to him. Obviously, he's got a very good track record in the IPL. He's done well for India in, I think, a few test matches that he's played. But he's played, I think, all the test matches in India itself. He's played at its own backyard where
Yeah,
the ball was turning. And the kind of bowler that Akshar is, he doesn't spin the ball much. He bowls it quicker, he bowls it more accuracy. But he's not a bowler who believes getting that turn. So if he's getting that turn, so that obviously means that the conditions or the pitch that is supporting him. because he's not a bowler who turns the ball a much. So I think on that basis, if you're backing Akshar Patel that much, so there are a lot of other players who have done better than him in other kind of conditions. So I think Akshar Patel, I think, is very lucky to have that kind of backing from the BCCI,
Yeah,
because he's not seen that international cricket.
he's not.
Because I remember that 2020 semi-final that England actually trashed us. So there was nothing that Akshar Patel was able to do in that game. He was getting hammered.
Yeah, there was nothing. I mean,
So these kind of situations that makes you a player. These kind
yeah,
of challenges makes you a player.
correct. And with that also, let's talk about the bowling department now. We've got in Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Jasprit Bumrah. I think that's not a surprise at all. They had to have been there. Shardul Thakur too gets green lit because of the fact that I think he adds that batting, right? He,
Yeah, I think Shardul Thakur is a good inclusion. I
and
think India does lack in that department. We don't have a lot of all rounders who can actually bowl. We have all rounders who can spin the ball. We have someone like Jadeja, Akshar Patel. We used to have other staying all rounders such as Yuvraj, Suresh Raina. But in our history of the country, we didn't have a lot of all rounders who can bowl quick.
exactly,
We've got someone like Kapil Dev, we have Hardik Pandya nowadays, but we've not got a lot of options. So I think if Shardul Thakur is there, who can bat a little bit, so I think he had to be there because you need such kind of players.
correct, correct. And top order it starts with Rohit, Shubman, Virat Kohli. Again, Rohit and Virat Kohli they are by default. Shubman too. I think although we might get emotional on Shikhar Dhawan not being part of it, he hasn't been part of international setup for India in quite a while now. So his omission isn't really a surprise. But yet, he's a Mr. ICC man. He just performs like crazy in ICC events.
Yeah, he is a very good player, and the thing is that he's a big match player. We have seen
Exactly.
Shikhar Dhawan perform, and I think he's done a very good job. And the most important thing that goes in his favor is that he's a left-hander. You
Correct.
need a left-hander in your top four.
Correct. But that did not
But I
happen.
think, but I think since you're playing in home conditions, you might not have those conditions.
Hmm.
So you need to back your right-handers now. So because if this was, I think in Australia or somewhere in England, I would definitely have got a left-hander to open the inning, or maybe one down. But
Yeah.
you can't just let all the right-handers be there because it will just help the bowlers.
Exactly. Exactly. But like you said, since it's the Indian condition, and also I think what I learned recently is that ICC will be monitoring how the pitches are being prepared. It's not BCCI, so we can expect a far balanced pitch. In a way, what I'm trying to say is, I don't think it'll be spin friendly, too heavily spin friendly. I
Yeah,
think it'll be balanced.
I think the pitches will be like that. Can you please give me a minute?
Yeah, yeah, no worries. Yeah.
Yeah, so if we talk about the pitches, I think ICC they can monitor it, but they should not interfere
Hmm.
because it is a cricket World Cup. If all the foreign countries that are coming to play here, you've got someone like England or Australia. So what makes you a world champion? That you can play in any condition. So
Exactly.
if we travel overseas, we get that bounce, we get that green track.
Exactly.
Haven't we won it in 1983? That was a complete green track where India beat the West Indies in the final. It was a complete green track. So that's
Exactly.
what makes you a champion material. So I think the other countries should not be kind. That's obviously a different topic altogether. But I think there should not be that intervention. But I still believe you will get some good batting pitches where
Mhm.
you can easily score that 270 plus. So that's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, me too. And also inclusion of Shreyas Iyer. Since it's an Indian condition, I think that man can survive. Had it been anywhere outside India, you can easily get him from a bouncer. The whole world knows it now. But India can condition, he plays spin really well. He plays fast bowling really well as well. So I think that's a good inclusion. Although many of them, Iyer, KL Rahul, you've got Jadeja, you've got Bumrah. They're all coming from a big time injury, so they don't have much match practice. What's your take on Iyer's inclusion?
I think he's a very good inclusion. A lot of people will debate that a year will struggle against the short ball. But if you talk about other Indian batsmen as well, a lot of Indian batsmen have been dismissed on the short ball.
Correct.
Even I've seen Rohit Sharma getting dismissed on a bouncer.
Correct.
So if you bowl a good bouncer, or even if it's a good delivery, no batsman can survive it.
Exactly.
It's
That's
just
a,
a
that's a very valid point. And then there's Ishan Kishan who's been included. I think again that's a good call. Middle order, not much of experience. I think that's the most concerning part. You have Iyer, Ishan, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya in the middle order. There's no much experience. And when I say much experience in ODI cricket is what I mean.
yeah. There's not much experience, but I think someone always has a first time. You have to see about the future as well.
Right.
And I think Ishan Kishan, the main concern from him, in my opinion, would be the wicket keeping dynamic. Because if we compare him to someone like Dinesh Karthik or someone like Rishabh Pant or even MS Dhoni, I don't think he makes that good wicket keeper. Or even KL Rahul, in my opinion. So I think really needs to work on his wicket keeping. And talking on the experience, I think he's a very good young player. He's got that aggression,
Mhm.
and I think he's got that approach that he's got nothing to do. We saw that against Pakistan recently
Yeah, correct.
because
Uh,
we saw Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and Gill being very tentative. They were very scared, to even get their front foot towards the ball. So their
What's
feet
saddening
seem really
is
free.
they've already made up the mind before even playing the first ball. Like you said, they're very tentative even
Yeah,
before the first ball.
they were very tentative, and I think Ishan Kishan he played a gem of an innings because it was not just that he was only rotating that strike of uh, playing those dot balls or saving his wicket. He attacked.
Exactly.
He was getting boundaries. He even hit those sixes. And he was, there are obviously some issues with his technique in batting or even wicket keeping. But
Mhm.
if he plays his natural game, I think he's a very good inclusion.
Yes, and now talking about, like I said, Hardik Pandya and Ravindra Jadeja, that's a no-brainer. They make the team. There's absolutely no reason to drop them. So we don't really have to talk about that. But now I'll talk about two big controversial selections. I think one's with KL Rahul. If you ask my personal opinion, people need to differentiate between different formats, man. Yes, he's been really poor in T20 cricket, but his ODI cricket, especially at the number 5 position now of late, has been really good. He's been playing some really crucial innings. But in India, you know how it is, right? You fail a couple of games and you are out. You are a disgrace to the cricketing community. You become that. But KL Rahul deserved that chance. I think the biggest thing with KL Rahul is he has to up his body language even before he gets into the crease, he's very low, and it's just that he needs to be a lot more confident. He's not an youngster anymore. He's got quite a few experience. I think from my point of view, it's a good inclusion. What do you take on that? KL Rahul's
I
selection.
think KL Rahul is a fantastic player. There are very less players. I think KL Rahul has got a very brilliant technique.
Correct.
I remember when India versus Pakistan in the previous World Cup at Manchester, where Rohit Sharma was scored a century.
That was gem of a
I
partnership. I'll tell you. A lot of people don't talk
Yeah,
about it. Cloudy conditions, I know, right? And
yeah. A lot of people talk about Rohit Sharma or that six that he. I think it was Hassan Ali, but people don't talk about KL Rahul. I think his footwork right from the first ball was spot on.
it was, and also
And
if
you know
you
the
remember, it was Shikhar Dhawan had just left for India. KL Rahul was batting middle order, and he was just quickly promoted to the top of the order.
Yeah, he was opening with Rohit, and the kind of the way he played those first couple of balls against Pakistan in that game. I think I was very sure that his footwork is so good. He's getting a good score today. I was not sure about Rohit, but I was very sure about KL Rahul in the very first over that he
but
played that
but
he's getting runs today.
but that's not getting mapped into runs, my friend. You in the end you need a lot of runs to get the backing. But with KL Rahul, it's always been a lot of talent, but somewhere it doesn't get mapped. What do you think on that?
I think you have to see the numbers that KL Rahul has. A lot of people talk about the only one thing which is very overrated nowadays, and that is strike rate.
Hmm.
Strike rate cannot win the game. Strike rate is totally conditional.
Exactly.
Strike rate doesn't apply if you're chasing 100 runs in 50 overs on a tricky pitch. You need technique. You need those that brain game. You have to be street smart.
Yes. Exactly.
So strike rate doesn't matter, especially in this format.
But
And you don't need to hit sixes.
exactly. I mean,
The
that's a
main thing
very
is
good
you
example
don't
that
need
you've
that power
given.
game.
A lot of people don't understand. They just think that if he's got less strike rate, he's a bad player. That doesn't make him a bad player at all. But T20,
Yeah,
the T20 format, strike rate is what the people rate you by, and it should that be that, and it should how it should be. Strike rate is very imperative for a T20 game. But come ODI format, I don't think, like you said, you are chasing 100 or 50 overs. It's the application that really matters.
yeah. It is that kind of brain games that you play. You should know which ball you have to play, which you have to let go, and you should know how to rotate strikes and build partnership. That is the most important thing in a longer format. You need to build
Um,
partnership.
Yeah, with that, let me come to the most controversial selection and the controversial omission as well. I'll begin with the selection first. The biggest controversial selection for me is Surya Kumar Yadav. I'll tell you the reason as well. Why I find it a little surprising that he's selected. Surya Kumar Yadav is a brilliant T20 player. He's probably one of the best T20 players going around right now. There's absolutely no doubt. International circuit or franchise cricket. But you pull out his ODI numbers, he's barely played ODI games for that matter. It has been below average. It has been truly below average, and he just couldn't find his food in ODI format just because he gets a lot of time. You know what happens with this T20 specialist is in ODI you get a lot of time. You don't know when to stop, when to accelerate. I think that's the case. What do you think on that? What do you think on his selection first?
I'm not surprised having Surya Kumar Yadav with the team. He's a very talented player.
Hmm.
The only thing that goes against Surya Kumar Yadav is his technique because he bats really open stance.
Hmm.
If the ball is moving, that will trouble him. Be it seam or be it spin, he will be troubled. No matter what, even if it's T20. We saw in IPL where the conditions were like that, the ball was seaming, it was spinning. The technique of Surya Kumar doesn't allow him to adjust that quick. But
Yeah.
if you have a batting pitch, like I was saying that something like Chinnaswamy. So I think if you just tell Surya Kumar, go in any number, you go at
Yeah, he's
three,
a
you go at
beast.
five, or even you finish the inning.
There's
You just
abs
tell him play your game,
yeah.
and if he is just there,
I think,
he
like
can
you
make an
said,
excited 80 just to
I think because he comes as an X factor, he's been added in the squad. He may not play all the games, but when the games he plays, I think his contribution will be very crucial to the team.
I think you will have maybe a couple or triple of those practice games in the World Cup. I think
Mhm.
so. I think I'm definitely giving Surya Kumar all the practice matches because it's just the mindset. It's just his mindset. He's got that ability.
Yes,
There's no question
exactly,
on his ability. It's just the mindset. And if
exactly,
he prepares that mindset, you just tell him to bat at the net. That you have to at least bat for 100 deliveries. Just tell
Huh.
him that without throwing your wicket. And I think he's a player who can score those runs in just 20 deliveries. So he's not a player who will struggle for runs. He's a player who just needs to, just keep his cool and bat throughout the innings.
exactly. And with that, let me come to the
And
very back. Okay, you want to add something? Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I was saying that if Surya Kumar Yadav is playing in my 11, I'm not going to tell him that you come at 5 or 6. I'll just send him in the top
That
order.
much.
Maybe at 4, but
Oh,
I'm not going to save him for the end.
yeah,
Because if I've got such a talented batsman, I want him to play at least 20, 30 overs. And imagine what can he do. The impact.
exactly, exactly.
He
Uh,
can, he can easily score 150 runs all alone
hmm. And
and
with
not
that,
take a
let
lot of
me
time.
come to this more very controversial omission as well, the omission of Sanju Samson. What do you take on that?
The name of Sanju Samson, I think, has always been controversial. He's always done a good job. I don't know what the issue has been with Sanju Samson, but I think he's a very good player. And why he's not included in the squad, it's always going to be a question mark. But if you look at the logical part of it, Whenever he performs for the team, is taken in the squad for the international team, he doesn't have those numbers. He's
He doesn't
always,
have those. It's simply
you
as simple as that. I am from South. I just can't back Sanju Samson because he's from South and he doesn't perform on
yeah,
the
I think
international circuit.
what happens, he gets tentative, or what happens, he will get tentative, or maybe he gets scared, maybe insecure. But he needs to bat the same way he does in the domestic circuit as well.
Yes, and for age is also on his side. He's not that old as well. He can always come back, in next World Cup, T20 World Cup. There's a lot of things going on. Uh, yeah, I think that's not a big deal. But his fan following is, it's gotten really toxic to a point now, man. I just can't take it. Uh, it's really, I just
Where
have
the
to,
fans are concerned, it will always get toxic. Where the fans
yeah,
are concerned, it
correct.
always will.
It will. And yeah, with that, man, I think we've covered it all. It was great talking to you. You have a lot of knowledge. You understand cricket from a very open-minded point of view. So that's pretty great. And yeah, I thanks for joining. I wish you nothing but the very best. And yeah,
Thank you so much.
hopefully we'll do a lot more videos like this. Thank you. And also, people, if you like my content, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can send it across to your friends and do whatever with the video. Just keep it engaging. Take care. Bye.
Thank you so